Welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Mandy.
And we are drama bonded. And today we're going to talk about the stupidity of Big Brother. And we're going to talk about the sweetness of the Bachelor in Paradise finale. And we're going to talk about the controversial new Bachelorette.
That's a lineup.
It is a lineup. But first,
Candy reviews with Mandy and Jess.
what candy do you got for us?
Okay, Jess, unfortunately, I'm going to save some so that she can try it, but she hasn't eaten it, so I'm kind of on a candy island. But I got this Japanese candy. It's called Sakiru. Sakiru. It's a stringy gummy candy, and they come in little plastic packages. They kind of look like really fat pieces of gum, and then there's little strips that you can peel off in strings, or you can just bite it.
So it's kind of like a Twizzler pull and peel.
Yeah, I actually haven't tried the peel approach because I'm totally the person that just eats the whole pull and peel and doesn't peel it. But it has very similar flavor profile to a haichu.
Yum.
But the texture is entirely different. So if you like haichus and you want to try a new texture, I don't know. I like haichus better, but I still think it's a fun texture and worth trying.
Where did you pick them up?
Harmon's. They also had a couple other flavors, but each bag is one flavor. And I got the grape flavor because
grape.
But yeah, I don't know. An interesting try. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I have to go pick some up from Harmon's.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay. Do we want to talk about Big Brother?
Yes, that was really good. I just have to say we are podcasting at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. And the only thing that could get me podcasting at 8 a.m. on a Saturday is what has happened in the past week of Big Brother.
Dude, so a little bit of news. I got a new job, which is very exciting, and I cannot wait. And so I was out with Saul celebrating this new job, having this lovely meal. And, you know, I'm a live feeder, so I am ahead of schedule, kind of knowing like who the next HOH is, the nominees, all of that. So I was like sitting here refreshing on a Friday, like waiting to find out who HOH is this last week. And man, it's just like the feeds are down, shit's not right. And Saturday morning, or no, later that night, I think probably like around 11 o'clock on Friday night, which is like late because normally we have like an HOH Friday morning. Feeds come back. Rachel Riley is gone. Eliminated. Off camera. No explanation, like other than the house guests losing their minds. And I have to tell you, nothing ruined my whole weekend faster. And I'm pissed that I'm that pissed over a television show. But man, it got me. I cried. Like, how dare they? How dare production do this?
I completely understand. I didn't find out until the episode came out. You warned me. You were just like, something happened. A player got eliminated in a challenge. And you didn't tell me who. And as soon as you said that a player got eliminated in a challenge, I was so confused because that's not how Big Brother works.
Right, because this isn't the fucking challenge. This is Big Brother. This is strategy. This is we spend all this time in this house with these people not to get eliminated by a carnival game.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I mean, you did say I would be this upset if it was anyone, which I believe. And I think I would be too, just because I think it goes against the entire point of the game.
Yeah, because okay, it might have been a touch of an exaggeration that I'd be this upset. I don't know that I would have cried over Kelly, but like if that had been Vince or Keanu, I would have been equally as pissed because like I want to see Rachel get them out. I want to see Ashley crush Vince. I want to see these things happen. Like the whole point is so that the house guests get to build their resumes. This was not that.
No. And yes, I know that yes,
I probably
you're
wouldn't have shed a tear
especially
over Vince, but
I don't know because even okay, I okay, yes, Rachel's worst case scenario, but honestly, Vince and Keanu are one level below that for me just as game players because at least they are in the game making moves, like fighting the fight.
right.
And so yeah, I actually would be really upset if Vince or Keanu got eliminated that way.
Super pissed. Like I'm really shocked. I'm grateful that the Big Brother community with Rob Has a Podcast took it as seriously as I did, and we all took it
They
personally.
did.
I know. And I was like, okay, I feel a little more vindicated because, like, seriously, Saturday morning, we're sitting on the couch watching qualifying for Formula One, and I'm like choking up. And Saul's like, are you crying over Big Brother? And I was like, yes, and I'm having a hard time articulating why. But like, I have invested year after year. Like Taryn said it on the live feed update best, this not this Saturday, but last week. You let this game into your life. You are watching the live feeds. We're playing the stock watch. We're following all these contestants' feeds. Like it just is in tandem and in line with my life starting in July through the end of September. And to have this level of like production not give a shit about the game is really deeply hurtful to fans who really, really love this game. I don't know how else to say it.
I respect it. I know I'm not um you're definitely you've watched longer than me. You watch the live feeds like you are invested in a level that I'm not and I just being a reality TV person and loving this show for the past 3 years like I am mad.
Yeah. It's like you don't get to change the whole thing halfway through. Don't do that. That's stupid. Like, I don't want to give you my time. I don't want to give you my money. And it makes me want to go burn my janky t-shirt, but not really because I love it. And it's this tension of hating it and loving something that like treats you so poorly.
It's an abusive relationship.
Yeah. Damn.
It is. I mean, the production just show such an obvious disregard for their players and their fan base.
Yeah. And like, I feel like this cast is ridiculous. And Rachel was one of the people. I mean, there's a few others. Lauren clearly knows what she's doing. So I don't know what seasons Vince has watched because clearly none of them, even though he claims he's a super fan. Um, but like when you've got Ava and other people in the house kind of freaking out that like this, even they recognize this isn't the game. Like, why did they just give up the last 60 plus days of their life to be eliminated potentially in something and not have the chance to save themselves? That's deeply hurtful and offensive to them. Like, I think I gave up my life. They literally did. They are stuck
Yeah.
in that house. That's wild. It's so
Without their
disrespectful.
loved ones playing this game 24/7.
Yeah, and to have it all come up and like not matter, that's so it's just fucked up. I don't know
It
how else
is
to
fucked
say
up.
it.
I think it's fucked up for everyone involved. It was unfortunately spoiled for me. I was poking around the internet and then an article popped up about how like fans are upset about Rachel Riley's departure. And so like the day that I was going to watch the episode, it got
Ugh.
spoiled for me. Um,
Thank God it wasn't
but
me because man, have I done my fair share of spoiling things for you. So, whew.
no, you're good. Yeah, it's just really upsetting when Rachel was playing such a good game in the craziest of circumstances. The fact that she was where she was in the game, she hadn't touched the block. She had she had multiple alliances working for her. She she basically was defying all odds, and that's partially because the people in this house don't know how to play the game and don't know how to make big moves. But she still was doing an amazing job with what she had to work with. And so the fact that we just saw all of her hard work and all of her gameplay just trickle away at that stupid game. And the thing was, is that Rachel knew the game. Like Rachel, I'm assuming, watched reindeer games.
Oh,
She knew the
she
strategy.
did. Did you watch Thursday's episode?
Yeah.
So they brought her out and she talked about like her big brother life flashing before her eyes. Like
Yeah.
she knew what this was. She had watched reindeer games. Actually, her husband, Brendan, has been on several podcasts and like had talked about the fact that she definitely knew.
Yeah, and so she's immediately in panic mode. I I would love to know your thoughts about Ava being upset that Rachel grabbed her.
I feel like I understand not wanting to be touched. I think that that is
Hmm.
valid. I think that that is okay for Ava to be upset with that. And I think also in context, it is very important for Ava to realize like this is the nature of the game. Like, and Rachel shouldn't have been punished for Ava. And it's actually not even like it has been pieced together that Ava is not upset about literally the touch, but being associated with Rachel. And
Mm.
so it just like, that's messy. That's hard. And also, Rachel is somebody who is very just like, we are going to play this game. And I think that clashes so hard with everybody in the house who is like,
No,
oh, we need to ask permission. Do you want to play the
honestly,
game? Like,
just
damn.
the when she asked for volunteers and when I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand it's a sudden fast decision and you have 10 minutes to make a decision that could change everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so that yes, I do see how Ava was flustered and maybe not thinking clearly. But honestly, the lack of decisiveness and the way she made that decision made me want to put my fist through my television.
Well, and the thing is like Ava now has been horrifically bad mouthing Rachel, like, is clearly projecting and just generally not being a very good person in general, which not surprising given the state of this house. But yeah, Ava is just it's so frustrating to watch these people continue to make the game. I don't even know how they just don't know the game. They're not playing it. They're not engaging with it the way that it should be engaged with. And it's so maddening. I'm ready for new house guests.
Vinny getting picked to go first basically summarizes this entire season.
It does. I think it's you've got to be careful when you talk about things and label stuff, but this house really does seem to embody a lot of misogyny. And just, it's kind of a bummer to watch it unfold week after week after week. And Vinny is such a worm, a weasel. Like, what are we doing? Ava doesn't even like him. She hates
But
him the most.
he was a safe choice because he's playing both sides of the house. And she's like, oh, I'll just make it Vinny's problem. Because then I just, everyone's avoiding. I don't even think it's like, I mean, the misogyny thing is an interesting point, but I also think my biggest issue with this season is how much nobody wants to get their hands dirty. Nobody wants to make an aggressive decision. Nobody wants to
Oh, no,
actually
none of
play
it.
the game.
Mm-mm.
Everyone just wants to stay safe. Everyone wants to play nice. And
Yeah, we're not awarding nicest person at the end of this. Like I'm not
but
we're not giving somebody $750,000 for having the most friends in the house and like these people seem to have lost the plot. They don't understand that. Like get mean.
Ava seemingly making that choice because Vinny was like the option that would get her in the least trouble was infuriating to me.
Yeah. Well, same with all these like goodbye speeches. I'm not going to say a bad thing about this person. Why? You're going to put $750,000 on the line for that? That's so unhinged. Say something bad about that person.
Is this going to be a generational thing? Like, is this just what Big Brother's going to be moving forward? Is that younger people
Uh,
are going to play this way? I really am curious.
I feel like there's kind of a lot to break down going on. And this is such a fascinating thing. And I think we can talk about it too when we get to the new Bachelorette is like how reality TV really does sort of reflect back to us certain moments in society and the way that people engage and do these things and the values and the things that they choose to prioritize really do hold some reflection for what's going on outside of the house. Like, yeah, I do think that that is kind of the nature of reality TV, and we are seeing it unfold in a multitude of ways. And in Big Brother, it is this very frustrating aspect of like, I don't know. It's too soon to really like, it'll be interesting to do a postmortem after the season and really like break down what's going on.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think that it is going, this marks a shift. I would be surprised if next season we don't see similar things happening.
It's a shift, and I think I said this earlier this season on the podcast, but I think it's also a reason to have more variety in ages in the game.
Yes, I want more Wills. I need more old men. We need
But we also need more Rachels,
we
and
need
we
more
need more.
Rachels. We need
We also need Vinces. Like we need a range of people who bring different life experience to the table, who are all fans. Well, no, they don't all have to be fans, but I'm saying we need a range
we need a
because
range.
they're
Mhm.
all going to approach it differently, and that makes the game interesting.
Yeah, when you get a bunch of younger kids all kind of within the same age group, it's really starting to show that like this isn't fun. And Will, before he left, really did lament that there's nobody in the house that he felt like he could connect with, talk with. And I think that that is also a real bummer because anybody that is an
Yeah,
outlier just gets further pushed to the fringes, and their ability to show up and interact and add something to the house is lost because they're not able to participate. And that is a travesty. I hate it.
yeah, that's very isolating and an already incredibly isolating experience.
Yeah.
When a big part of your experience is social game, which obviously Will was doing great at, but if he is missing that aspect of it when everyone else in the house has it, that's a huge I don't know, setback for his game.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I do want to ask you, okay, a moment of silence for Rachel Riley. Okay. Now
Okay.
I need to ask you how you felt about Vince picking Lauren to go next.
Oh, do we want to talk about Vorgan?
Yes, I want to talk about all of it because it's the only thing interesting left happening in the
Oh,
game.
oh, wow. That's such a big topic.
It's a
Um,
huge topic. Like, Jess, when
Vince,
I was watching last night's episode, so the eviction episode, Morgan being upset that Vince was spending all of his time with Lauren and then trying to compensate with Morgan and all this bullshit. Like, we are reaching a stage of full blown mess. And then when he was leaving the diary room, he's like, I love you, Kelsey.
Kelsey does not
Um,
love him. Vince is single.
I realize that at this point. But he doesn't know that,
He,
does he?
no, no, he does not. And it's pretty wild because he is like the mental gymnastics that he is going through to continue. It's Vince. I love Vince in this game only from the standpoint of I am always here for a self-interested player, right? But Vince is just a very specific type of guy that I have a very specific type of problem with, in that he is just using Morgan to get physical affection and to make himself feel better and to
Hmm.
receive comfort from, and
Hmm.
does not actually give a shit about Morgan. And to be fair, I'm not really sure that Morgan, they've got chemistry, there's tension there, but like I kind of feel like she's also like, because she brings up Kelsey, she's aware he has a girlfriend, she's navigating these sticky waters. And so I'm not even sure that they like, even if everything was smooth sailing, that they would end up together outside of the house. So kind of with all of that caveated though, I do absolutely think that this is what Morgan deserves, having Vince want to just, be attached to Lauren,
Yeah.
because
Does
he just is in it for himself. And Lauren is still somebody who has value to him in getting him to the end.
Yeah. Does Morgan give a shit about Morgan? Because I feel like she's more invested in Vince and their game together than she is about hers. And she's like, it is blinding her to the point that she is not seeing that He is not prioritizing you.
No, Morgan,
You are not his number one.
this man's a loser. Move
He's a
along.
loser.
Ew, I hate the way that he like whines to her and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to follow you everywhere." And it's like, that's not the problem, Vince. Like, yeah, I am actually so curious how this all goes when they get out of the house. And I get why Morgan's pissed, but Vince also isn't wrong for wanting to have Lauren around. Like, that would be bad for his
No.
game to not. Like, he honestly listens to Morgan too much, and I think that that is bad for his game. Morgan doing things is also bad for Morgan's game. Like, but like,
Yeah.
Morgan being mad at Vince was pretty funny.
Oh,
And just like blowing past him in
the
the kitchen.
drama.
The drama.
Ugh. And I'm so glad that she like wouldn't commit to asking Kelly next. She was just like, I'm too stressed out. And she was just avoiding everything. It was just like, no, I'm going to make a decision that's best for my alliances. I'm not doing this for fucking Lauren because that's how the game works, Vince.
Yes. Vince also is so interesting in that he just does not understand that it's not a matter of convincing people what's good for like Vince's game. Vince should be trying to convince people how he's good for their game.
Yeah.
But he's so selfish and self-involved that he's just like, but I've wanted it for 10 years. Don't get me evicted now. And it's like, Vince, come on. Come up with a better argument. Convince people that you're good for their game, not that you deserve to be there. It's wild. And like the fact that Morgan doesn't see it. Good. I want Vince to keep hanging out with Lauren and doing all the weird things that he's doing. And
I need Lauren to go home.
I need Lauren to go home too. I am
Lauren
so over
is,
Lauren.
I don't even know how this woman is in the house.
Yeah. Well, pretty privilege. She's been
No,
so
yes,
quiet. Like,
I do know, but she is so hard to watch.
no, I
I
know.
cannot.
You weren't asking the question. No, she is. I hate watching her too. And the way she stares at the screens and that she can't make a decision. And it's like, Lauren definitely has it in her to be a Big Brother player. And I don't think that this game is for her. This did not bring out the best side of Lauren. She is just playing so scared and so timid. And I don't want people like this on my television. She's like impossible to hear on the live feeds too.
I just her avoiding eye contact and her saying like whatever's meant to be will be, and I just can't handle it anymore. I can't. I feel like we're just too far into it. I just want to shake her and be like, either be aggressive or get out.
Get out.
Like,
go big or go home.
I can't. I can't. Like, I feel like she is actually the symbol of everything that I'm frustrated with this season.
Oh, I know. Well, and the thing is, like, at least her HOH was a little bit of a dud, and that, like, getting Will sent home is, like, not a big move at all. But the way that these house guests play is, like, if she's at the end, I'm pretty sure she wins it.
Yeah.
I just, like, because she has been the least offensive person in this house. Like, she is the person who was the nicest.
Yeah, you're right. She has the least amount of blood on her resume.
Which is like the exact opposite of what you want in a Big Brother resume to win. But hey, the kids these days, I guess this is what we're doing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, we're almost done. I think the finale is on the 28th.
So I'm a little confused. How do we have this many people left with this amount of time left?
I don't know. I mean, we're basically gunning for some sort of. There's definitely going to be a double eviction. It very likely, given the way that this season is going, could end up being a triple eviction, kind of like having another person eliminated potentially through like the masterminds, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like a really quick succession, the typical back-to-back double eviction would really quickly get 3 people out of this house.
But is the timeline different? Like, why are we in this situation? Because it's 90 days.
It is,
yes.
yeah. And the thing that I think is going on is Rachel being like the mastermind's puppet was in the game. So we started with 17 people, not 16. So they always needed to accelerate.
Okay.
17 people, not yeah. So we sort of like at some point there was going to have to be a little bit of a push at the end.
There should have been like a double eviction earlier in the game and a double eviction towards the end of the game.
Yeah, they could have done this in so many other ways. I don't know. Or just like 1 week, 2 people get voted off the block.
Do you really think that production, I mean, and I already know the answer to this question, it's just really disappointing that after hearing the response to the way Rachel Riley was evicted, that they would continue to get rid of players using mastermind challenges.
I mean, the way that they handled that interview, that they made Rachel trot out there and
Yeah.
basically admit that it was her fault that she went home the way that she did without any information or understanding like how it's actually being perceived or how it all actually went down. I think production is just going to do whatever they can do. And I mean, they're already spinning it as like the most, what did they say? The most
Talked
shocking
about.
talked about. And it's like, well, that's one way of saying it, I guess. So who knows? No, their production does not care. Like, bottom line, they do not care about how this was perceived. If it got them attention, they are definitely in camp. Any attention is good attention.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
Well, how do we feel about Keanu willing the, sorry, Keanu winning the blockbuster and Will going home?
I don't know. I really like Will. Keanu is so problematic for me in a lot of ways. And also, I hate it, but he's, I guess, the person that I'm rooting for to be at the end. I don't know. I knew he was going to do really good on that challenge, though. And I really felt bad for Will and Ashley. I was just like, there's no way. Keanu is just such an incredible mover. His Instagram account is definitely worth checking out.
Oh my
Like,
gosh, the way he moved in that challenge was effortless. It was like a dance.
have you seen his Instagram? He's
I
like, you
haven't.
would love it, Mandy. He like, it's so wild that he is just this large man, but I think he does a lot of the movements like with kettlebells and things kind of similar. He like reminds me of you in ways, which is just like I recognize the comparison, but like his fitness is at like kind of that level on that he understands movement in different planes, and I knew he was going to do well in this. Like, even though it's so much harder for him to like energy wise to get his body to move like that, he knows how to move like that. And that came through so beautifully. And it was really neat to watch him do this.
Yes, I know that he's an obviously a very fit and athletic person, and so when I saw what the challenge was, I had a hunch that Keanu is probably going to do well. But I haven't seen his Instagram. I didn't know he could move like that. I was very impressed.
Oh my God. Yeah, I knew. Oh, it was so good. As soon as I saw it, I was like, well, this isn't exactly maybe the outcome I wanted, but at the same time, like, I do love a really fit human doing really awesome fit human things. So I was here for it. But I am sad that Will left, though. Honestly, that's probably good because I feel like that was every house guest's easy final two and that they would win against Will. And so, sort of removing Will, I am sad for Will's game and that bums me out. And it's also true that I think that that makes it a lot harder for everybody left in the house to win. And I love that.
I do too. I also loved Will. I'm gonna miss his like grounding presence in the game and how much he was making fun of people and how much he like hated talking to
Oh
everyone.
my gosh, I
Um,
know. He was a real vibe for me. I was like, yeah, I get this. He's like, I'm not active listening. I'm just not listening. So good. Like, say that
it's
part out loud again, please. These house
when
guests are
I'm HOH, we are
insufferable.
not doing one-on-ones at 2:30 in the morning. I'm going to bed at 10.
Yeah.
No, respect, Captain Will. We're gonna miss you. That being said, I also am rooting for Keanu to win at this point, and I think it's purely from not a personal place. It's really just like the game and what it has been and what he has had to navigate. And yeah, I don't know. Like at this point, I feel like with who's left in the house, he is. not set up to succeed unless he continues to just win every challenge. And at this point, if he can do it, I think he deserves to win.
I agree completely. So, yep, we'll find out. We
I'll
have
find out.
we have half the month left, so
Also, I finally listened to the slot for the first time. This, and then we can move on. But Kelly's dad is insane.
oh my god, Kelly's dad.
I
Also,
feel like I understand Kelly more as a person, knowing that this is
if
who
you just
her
watched
father
last,
is.
yeah, like oh my god, unhinged behavior from him too. Like it is so good. It's behind a paywall for reasons. You know, if you are into Big Brother and want something very fun, and if you need an eyeball cleanse from everything going on in the world, the slop is really it. Chappelle and Rob are some of the funniest people together. Like I am always laughing listening to that podcast. So yeah, but Kelly's dad, neighbor kid.
Oh my God. All right. Sorry.
Okay,
Okay. Anything else on Big Brother?
no, I don't think so. Let's talk about the ending of Bachelor in Paradise.
Okay. I guess what I'll say is that I think Alex and Andrew is my favorite couple to come out of the franchise in a long time.
I agree completely.
And not surprised that Jess and Spencer were at the end.
No, of course not.
And grateful that Dale and Kat were not.
Yeah. Um, I despise Sean.
Oh my God. Yeah, him and Alicia coming in hot with the
Ew.
tea.
I mean, it just like drips of desperation, so pathetic, loser behavior from
Yeah, what a
Sean.
small human.
Truly, just like, oh, okay, so you're going to go after Kat. You're just bitter. And here's a woman that is easy for you to drag through the mud. Okay, Sean.
Yeah, it was very petty. It was like the way that they went about doing it, like so publicly. It was really hard to watch. It was really embarrassing for everyone involved. Uh, I
Yeah.
I don't like Kat and Dale are seemingly still in a relationship.
Yeah,
So I don't
ironically,
know.
like Sean didn't need to do anything.
No,
They were never going to make it to the final round.
no.
So,
And that was actually on Sean. I mean, I know, okay, so it's kind of complicated
oh
because
no.
at this point in Bachelor in Paradise, people could start working more strategically because it did become a little bit more of a strategy game with voting people out. That being said, the way Sean went about it is the opposite of what you should do in a strategy game, and he really killed his own game. Like, I don't know if he hadn't done that, how far he would have gotten, but I also just don't think that Sean was well enough liked to make it that far.
No, he never was. And that was just really slimy behavior. Like, read the room. This is not that show. Like, you are not going. You think because your dad's a politician that people are going to listen to you and want to adopt a political mindset to do this and move forward like this? Like, buddy, oh my God, no, these people could not care less. And so for him to then come in on this back end of things just is like embarrassing for him overall. And I don't know. Boo. Uh Pivoting now. How much did you love Alex and Andrew winning that challenge with the
Oh, I loved it.
oh, me too. Let it be known that just because you look strong does not mean you are actually strong.
I, when Dale and Kat were like being so cocky and like, we're the most athletic, we're definitely going to win, I was just like, if they win this challenge, I'm turning off the television.
Ew, me too. I hated that. Like, Kat, the way that you look has nothing to do with how fit or strong you are. Like, I'm glad you've got this banging Pilates bod. I'm happy for you. But that does not equate to having actual, literal physical strength.
No, I loved it. I love that they won.
Me
Thank
too.
goodness.
And Andrew's like, yeah, these guys are pretty big, but like I was a big deal in college. And like Andrew looks like somebody who's got like clearly that man is very strong. Does he have a six pack? No, but that's actually the like those are the people that are that strong. Don't be fooled. Six pack abs does not equate to being the strongest in the room. Period.
I mean, Andrew also played football professionally. Granted, it was overseas, but that's not nothing. He
No.
still was a professional athlete for a period of time. So just because he didn't play in the NFL like Dale, which I mean, how long ago was it that Dale was in the NFL? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a
He's
real
not wrong saying I'm 30.
yeah. Yeah.
A 30-year-old man who very recently was a professional athlete, like that is a threat.
Compared to a 37-year-old who has not played probably in over a decade. Yeah.
Yeah.
As somebody who's in Dale's position at the moment, yeah, I can tell you the difference between 37-year-old Jess and 30-year-old Jess is I could not take 30-year-old me. So,
Yeah, so
loved it.
I was just thrilled that they won. What did you think about Spencer proposing to Jess after all of their conversations?
Um, bold move. However, I think I did hear a podcast. I heard snippets of podcasts from Instagram actually, or maybe like Reddit. So I haven't listened to anything fully, but Jess did say that a lot of her indecision or that these conversations were edited to make her seem like she
Okay.
was more worried about it than she actually was. Like, I guess Spencer had called his parents, her parents. She talked to her parents, his parents.
Oh.
So there were like phone calls made the day before. Like there was a lot more to that. And so I think that that ended up getting played out differently. Had that all gone the way that it appeared, I can't believe Spencer would have had the nerve to propose.
Okay, well, that makes me a little bit annoyed because I didn't like that he proposed. I felt like he wasn't hearing her.
Yeah, because she made it so clear that this was too fast. She was already gun shy.
Yeah, and so I actually feel like the show did them a disservice. Like, if we had known that all of that had happened, I would have been really excited
I know
that they were getting engaged and they were both on the same page.
they did them dirty for sure because I
Oh,
do
that's a
think it
bummer.
is a bummer because, like, come on, let us be excited about love if we're going to watch this show and just like suspend all belief about everything. Let us have the love stories, please. Just give us the good stuff. I don't always want the drama, but they needed something. So I do think, though, at the end of it, like Andrew and Alex, their whole ending did really make everything worth it for me.
Yeah, the fact that he seemingly would be okay with her choosing the money because of how much he knew that she needed it with her financial position. I think that shows how much he legitimately loves her and understands and wants like the best for her.
Yeah, fuck that stupid psychologist being like, I don't see it.
Like, you don't have chemistry.
We see it. Hello. That was I was like fighting back tears. That was so sweet and tender that he knew how much that would change Alex's life and that she should go for that because money in the society that we live in unfortunately does actually matter and it does change lives and that is a life-changing amount of money.
Yeah, and I think I don't know, like the fact that she was so overwhelmed that he wanted her to choose the money and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I would never do that." And I don't know, I just you can feel how much they legitimately care about each other.
Yes,
And
like regard kind of like similar to Susie and Justin, like even if like things don't work out, to
yes,
have people who really see one another have that deep respect and adoration is really just like that is something special. And I wish everybody got to experience what it felt like to have somebody invest and care about you the way that these people have invested and care about each other.
it's very cute. And also, um, I don't know if you've seen them on Instagram, but their relationship is hilarious
I
and
love it. No, I
it's so
haven't.
cute.
I'm back on Instagram, but of course, like the second that I get back, everything blows up. So I'm like, well, kind of trying to avoid it again. But I do, maybe I'll go scope them out because I could use some TLC in the form of tender lovin'. I don't know. That's so good.
I only occasionally get on our drama bonded account so that I can catch up on some reality tea. And their tea is what I'm drinking. Okay, like
Good.
give me some of that.
I love it. That makes me so happy. Yeah. So that, and I love that they all still got money at the end. I thought the envelope thing was interesting. I kind of liked that they got to then, because they chose each other, each couple got to pick one of three envelopes with an amount of money on it, and everybody got a lot of money.
I know. See, happy ending. I am interested to know. Okay, so let's hypothetically say we get a paradise next year.
Hmm.
What do you think should stay the same, and what do you think should be different?
Yeah. So what I would like is I want more time with everybody on the beach. Like I want that messiness. I wish Susie had stayed longer because I think it would have been good for Bailey to see that. I think that was missing from this season. And so even though we wound up with like Alex and Andrew at the end, I want more Alex and Andrews at the end. And I think the only way to really do that is to give people more time to develop messier connections on the beach. Overall, though, I liked this format of the gamification of it a little bit because it prevents the dudes from coming in and just like having vacations.
True.
But now that they know that money exists, I mean, leave it to everybody. What are your actual intentions? So,
Yeah.
like, that's going to get kind of like weird going forward. It worked. Is this going to be lightning in a bottle because nobody knew? And next season, it's going to be harder to replicate given that people will have more information? Or is there a way that production can kind of make this work to not end up with people just like here to get money?
I guess in that way, it kind of becomes more like Love Island, where they know that there is a prize, but you still have to navigate the game in a relationship to be safe. Um,
I do love that they had a jury of their peers. I think that that is one thing that makes Big Brother work so well is that it's
mhm.
not like, there's any sort of outside influence from fans or anything voting, but like the people who were there to witness everybody as they are. So I think that that helps and that should continue.
I agree. I agree with a lot of the things you said. I think we do need more messiness on the beach. I really struggled with how quickly they were eliminating people and how many people they were eliminating, right? Like, I wanted there to be more love triangles. I wanted a little bit more dating drama. And because we were eliminating like three people every rose ceremony, we were just cutting off too much of the fat.
Yep.
Like, I need some of the fat for more of the flavor.
Yeah, this is reality TV. Hello, we're not here to like speed run something. Like give us the juicy bits. Like that is
Yeah,
that is really fun. And that is what I think has typically made Bachelor in Paradise so successful compared to the main shows is that that's the fun part. Like watching
that's
all
the
of these
fun part.
really beautiful people navigate this like temptation and all of these potential connections and it just not going smoothly.
Yeah, like you go on a date with one girl one night, and then the next day you're like spending the day on the beach with a different girl, and then the girl you went on a date with is like,
Throwing your cake in a fire.
yes, exactly. Like, we need that part of paradise. And so I do think I think that there can be a turning point where you have to be in a relationship to do these challenges or whatever, but I think there needs to be more messiness leading up to that turning point.
Because then I
Um,
think that there's a bigger investment too on that back end of being like, oh no, I do really want these couples to make it, or I don't really want these couples to make it. I think it kind of builds up that tension that was missing a little bit. So,
yeah,
is there anything else about Bachelor in Paradise you want to touch on, talk about, ruminate?
I think that the challenges were interesting. I think they could be improved upon.
Yeah, get those people better
Um,
walkie talkies. That's such a low bar. Test the equipment.
yeah, we need better walkie-talkies. I also think that there could be maybe, I don't know, I feel like there should be like more of a perk of winning almost. I don't know. I just think that the gamification part of the show needs some work. And Juliet Littman talked about this, but I really think that the rose ceremonies, that needs to change.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
don't think the rose ceremonies make sense if everyone's in a couple. And I don't think that the way they did that with the iPads made sense or was needed.
Yeah.
Um, and I do wonder if at like I don't know if they can end the show exactly the same because everyone knows what it is now, right? And so like if you know that you don't take the $250,000 and you choose your person and you still win money, like now it doesn't seem like that works the same
I
if
agree. It
people know they get money.
Yep, it changes things. It cheapens the whole like Alex choosing Andrew was so special because they both really thought they were getting nothing at the end of it.
Totally. Um well, I think that's probably it on Bachelor in Paradise. I do think this I liked the new production style. I don't need Hannah
Yeah,
Brown.
still
I think,
so unclear why she was on this show.
yeah, I think Bachelor in Paradise tried to do a little too much. It's they're like, oh, we're
Yeah,
this new flashy show, and we're doing all these things that all the other shows are doing. And now that they've done all the things, I think that they need to like approach the show with an editing eye and be like, this was working, this wasn't working, and really fine tune it. I feel like this season was the experiment, and now let's get a better product from experimenting.
definitely. Yeah, I appreciate that they took the risks. I think that they paid off. I think that this was a really fun sort of inaugural season of a new era of Bachelor in
Hmm.
Paradise. But yeah, let's pare it back, figure out what worked, figure out what doesn't work, nail that ending a little better going forward, and we could have something really fun in the future.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I hope that Bailey gets her head out of her ass and doesn't end up with Jeremy forever.
Oh my God. Yeah. Get away from that man. Ew. Oh, Jeremy. Well,
Okay.
dumb on the dick. I get it.
I'm on the
The man
deck.
is hot. I see it. So, okay.
Jess gets it. She's been a Jeremy fan from the
I
beginning.
know. And I hate that about myself right now. So,
Well, you couldn't, you, there was no way you could have known his true essence.
yeah, now I know. So, hopefully Bailey gets there too. All right. Should we talk about the new Bachelorette?
Taylor Frankie Paul from Single Lives of, wait, what is the name of the show?
The Secret Lives.
No, not Single Lives. I was like, wait, they're not all single.
I was like, I think it's
Secret
just
Lives of Mormon Wives.
Taylor. Yeah. Um, man, I have so many feelings, but I do think that this all sort of just ties back of like reality TV reflecting back to us where we're at in this time
Full
in
circle moment.
in American culture. And I mean, this is a messy individual. Messy,
A
messy,
very messy
messy, which is
individual.
like in a way so out of pocket for the Bachelorette. And at the same time, it makes total sense to me that we would also be picking this ultra Christian, white, beautiful woman to do this at this moment. Like, this is the moment. She is such a representation of where we are.
Yep. The fan base and The Bachelor has always been, a very Christian, traditional style show. That's a huge part of their fan base. That's a huge part of the way the show just is produced, that it favors that type of individual and person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you know what? The show usually doesn't highlight messy leads, and this is going to be a very messy lead. Taylor Frankie Paul doesn't even watch The Bachelor.
I know. Yeah, I'm kind of stunned. And you had said it like that you think that this is really smart for the production team. And you're right. It is. Like this is just going to pull people in and it will pull a whole different crowd of people in too. And I think it will reinforce for a lot of people who weren't sure how they felt about it, their enjoyment of this show. And that's not great, but it is what it is.
I honestly am here for it, even though I didn't even watch all of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It hit a little too close to home for me because I was raised LDS and, we live in Utah. And so it wasn't really the show wasn't an escape for me. It wasn't like fascinatingly funny. It was just like, oh, I'm a little bit too close to this culture and I don't need this.
It was definitely hard to watch, and I don't love that this is the element that we're getting now on The Bachelorette because of that. Like, I think that there is a lot to unpack in this extreme, and it's again, I think that it's for people who aren't familiar sort of with LDS culture, like it is so different in Utah than it is outside of Utah. And like
Mhm.
particularly in Utah Valley, like it is a very specific subsect of like that portion of the Mormon church that it
It's a concentrated culture.
yes, yes. And so it's also wild that such an extreme part of this is now going to be highlighted in The Bachelorette. Like that is really wild.
Yeah. So I'm not necessarily a huge Taylor fan. I will say that out of the women on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I like how authentic Taylor is, and I she is, of the group of women, I do like Taylor. She's a mom of three. She's gone through some shit. I think that she was a part of like a domestic violence allegation. Like she is not a Molly Mormon righteous woman.
No.
She was a part of the swinging scandal that like, if you guys don't know who she was the person who basically leaked the swinging scandal of the group of Mormon wives
For mom talk.
from Mom Talk. So, this woman has an interesting resume. And so, in that way, she's not a traditional bachelorette lead, even though
No, not
she
at
is
all.
kind of like this, beautiful white Christian woman. She also is very alternative in a lot of ways.
It's true. And it's also worth noting that a black woman could never have Taylor's resume under her belt and still be considered a contender for the Bachelorette. Like it is also this wild thing that despite all of that, Taylor is still going to be our new Bachelorette. And that is also very interesting. Like so interesting.
That is true. And I also think, though, that I don't think any woman on the show could have her background, to be honest. I think it's only because she is coming from a reality TV show where that is already out in public. There's already a fan base supporting her. The change in viewership is going to be astronomical.
Yeah. It will pull in yeah, I was saying it'll pull in a crowd that has not typically watched this show.
Yeah, I think it's a very smart move by ABC. And the only reason why I'm excited about it is because we have been talking about how dead this show is. It's so formulaic. It's they're like The Bachelor used to be the number one reality dating show. It is being outshone by the five shows on Netflix, the five shows on Peacock. There's so many dating reality TV shows now that The Bachelor is outdated and it is dead and it is not keeping up with what reality TV is doing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm also just so fascinated and excited and nervous to hear how this is all perceived. Like being able to sit back and take in what everybody thinks of this. There's no way that this season isn't interesting.
Yeah, like I don't know if it'll be successful or not. I just know that it's finally going to be something different. And I will say that the best seasons have been when the leads have been messier.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. How boring it is when like you've got Rachel Garcia who is sort of like trying to white what first lady her way through the season, and then you've got Gabby who's just like out of pocket saying whatever comes to mind, and like Gabby made such a more interesting bachelorette, whereas Rachel just like it did not work. And so
Yeah,
it's going to be very exciting because you know that Taylor is not going to hold back
totally.
because she never does. And that is one thing you've got to hand it to her for is like she speaks her truth regardless of what, however you want to judge her for the things that she's done. I mean, she's at least gone and has been willing to take a lot of accountability publicly. And damn, like, okay, this is going to be good television.
Yeah, I guess I'm just excited that they're mixing it up. I have no idea what's going to happen, but like The Bachelor, like I don't feel invested in watching anymore.
Mm-mm.
And so, if I was disappointed in Grant's season, I understood why they canceled The Bachelorette, but that was also disappointing. Like the way that this show has disrespected their female leads has been really hard to watch. I don't know, like there something needs to change, and I feel like this is their attempt to be like, we're listening, we're gonna try something different, and if it doesn't work, like ultimately, aside from Paradise, I might be ready to say I'm out. I don't know.
Yeah, that's sort of where I'm at with this, which is a bummer because I feel like this was like our gateway into podcasting and
Yeah.
really, but also sometimes it's worth knowing like when something has sort of run the course. And lucky for us, I think that there is plenty of reality television out there for us to talk about. So
Mhm.
we'll see how this goes, I guess. Yeah.
The last time The Bachelor did something like this was when they cast Matt James. And that unfortunately, so Matt James was our first Black Bachelor. And I remember being so excited about Matt James' season just because Matt James was best friends with Tyler Cameron at the time, and Tyler Cameron was on Hannah Brown's season. And for a while, Tyler Cameron was like the babe of Bachelor Nation, like
Yeah.
such a classically beautiful man, right? Um, and Juliet, who is the host of Bachelor Party, she was like obsessed with Tyler on Instagram, and quickly became acquainted with Matt James and was saying like, "Oh my gosh, like Matt James would make such an amazing Bachelor lead, like da 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 da." And then it's just crazy that after like listening to her talk about that for a couple of years, like because of Tyler's fame and his association with Matt James gets casted as the Bachelor, and I was legitimately thrilled for that decision. And then what production did with that season is so, oh my god, it's just so, it's everything that is wrong with the Bachelor was Matt James this season.
Yes, I having watched that, I mean, from the women that they cast to the conversation with his dad, the way that they did not show Matt James's personality at all, it was such a disservice to what could have been an incredible season.
Yes. And so I guess that is my biggest hesitation is when the show has made a bold move in the past, they've really fumbled it.
Mhm.
And so
Well, because with
all
great
I'm
power
saying,
comes great responsibility. Like, if you're going to do this, you have to do it with care and with intention, and it just sort of feels like they're always shooting from the hip, reacting rather than taking the time to produce something that is really good.
yeah, so I'm hoping that they've learned from from their laundry list of mistakes. Not holding my breath because they haven't shown that at all. But I do think that if they were to pull this off, it could be a really fun, messy season, and I think it could mix it up. I think it could mix up the show the way it needs to be mixed up. That being said, I'm gonna still have low expectations.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to approach this cautiously. Okay.
Anything else?
No, I'm so glad that we could hang out at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning and get this out there. And
Jess, we had to contribute our voices to the Big Brother ether. Like this was a moment that had to be discussed.
yeah, the moment that the show was completely ruined, possibly forever. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of shows that I may never watch again, we'll see.
I literally texted my friends and said, the world's on fire and I just need to be able to depend on something. And now I can't even depend on Big Brother.
No. And as I was watching Thursday's episode live, it got interrupted with some breaking news that was like not even breaking news. And I don't know. I like, oh my God. We just please let us have a good thing. Just any good thing at this point. I guess I don't even care what it is. Like, just don't ruin our shows, please. Please.
Just let's have our shows.
Damn.
Is
Yeah.
that too much to ask?
Apparently so. So, I don't know. Hoping that the next couple weeks we get some good TV and, excited to pop back on here and talk again soon.
Me too. I'm glad that we have each other and what's left of reality television.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for hanging with us. So fun. And we'll talk to you later.
Okay,
Bye.
love you. Bye.
Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Mandy Booth and Jessica Brumbaugh. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Thank you.